Hello, good morning, everyone. This is James Giglio, ready for your mentor session today. Not many questions today, so this will be a quick one, but I wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday season as we are approaching the end of the year. I hope everyone's hitting their goals, whether that's personal, professional, revenue related, or whatever you wanted for your business. I know this is the final push for us, so it's always kind of exciting time of year to make sure that we get near our confirm our goals for the year and start new ones. So it's a constant process. As Tom Black likes to say, success is never owned, it's rented, and so you have to start over each year with new goals and new heights for yourself and your business. So with all of that said, we're going to get started here with our first question coming from Alex. The question they ask is, what is the best approach to a very important client meeting where you only get one opportunity? The background on the question is, hello mentors, I'm creating a SaaS business where our platform will help influencers and public people manage their digital assets in a way to help them with digital rights management and takedowns of pirated material. We help them store assets and manage the assets. I have a big meeting with a potential distributor, promoter of our platform, and their customer, OnlyFans, is the potential partner. When going into these meetings, what are the strategies to build a relationship and secure them as a partner? Thanks. So, very good question. I think the most important thing is to really focus on the quality of your presentation as a step one, right? You know, with any sales pitch or general sales process, you really need to focus on the quality of your presentation that can really convey your product to the best capability, right? And so I would first work on that, make it a little bit personal to that particular client or to the potential partner. And so what you want to do there is clearly convey your message and show value that your company is the best partner for them, personalized to them, and why your services are unique or better than any other potential services. So first, focus on that presentation, really put time into that and rehearse. I think that's an understated thing that most people tend to overlook. I personally, I tend to over-rehearse to the point where I end up memorizing the entire presentation before I walk into a meeting, and I think that's been a valuable skill. I'm not good at short-term memory in the sense of, compiling and remembering flashcards, so to speak, but being able to rehearse a presentation allows me to focus on the key talking points as well as get comfortable with your presentation. And again, I don't know if you'll be in front of a large room or one-on-one, but just try to stage and rehearse what that presentation is going to look like for you and just practice. Again, I think it's an understated exercise that most people just don't do. And, as the front person for your business, you really need to come off as an expert, professional, and just really show good quality representation of yourself as well as your product and services. So that would be my recommendation for going into any pitch or any presentation. It's something I practice, and it's been pretty valuable for me. All right, number two, second question is coming in from Andy. How do I best approach talking to a manager in my company about their need to practice healthier communication whenever they communicate with their employees? The business description and background of the question is, I am a corporate support for a company called Natural Life. We offer a wide variety of wellness items and consider ourselves a wellness center. In fact, core value number 6 for us is wellness. We promise to use quality products and friendly service to promote a better quality of life for all. This sentence says for all, and I firmly believe that this friendly service should always be exercised from our employees to our customers, but also between managers and their employees as well. It is beneficial for us to offer a healthy work environment, as an unhealthy one also creates a slew of problems, and we believe a big key to that is healthy communication. I want to talk to one of my managers because I want to keep them on board but I have heard more than once that this person can really come off when communicating with their employees. This kind of stuff slowly, surely creates a tense work environment which indirectly will affect sales, as we have seen before. I want to make sure we don't come off wrong first and start a bad chain of reactions, since we really want to keep this employee. How should I best approach them? Should I just fire them? Help. Well, listen, I think you said a lot of great things in your description with your core values, right? One of the things that we try to do here at MVP Interactive is really hire for culture, because in many ways the right cultural fit will have a much better value and success for your company than maybe one that has a better skill set, right? As crazy as that sounds, we're always taught to like hire the best person that's for the job, but if they're a bad culture fit, it's a wash. And I think that you may be experiencing that to a degree with this particular manager, but not all is lost, right? I think the fact that you have a core value list is a great starting point. And I think, you can't go back, but when you think about onboarding new people, you really have to go over those core values with any interview or new employee to make sure that they're a cultural fit and they really understand that. And that's something I've learned the hard way. As an entrepreneur, early stages, you're just kind of looking for warm bodies with a skill set that can kind of help you, move your business along. But, it's a very flawed strategy in terms of building a great work setting and work environment. So I think you can refocus on making sure that your core values are really learned and accepted by everyone in your institution or your company. But that's, we're a little bit beyond that right now, but I think you can have that conversation to kind of get them back in front of that manager. But the other element I would suggest is, and if you're not doing this already, I think this is a good starting point to kind of make a new practice for your company, is to create these scorecards or weekly check-ins with each of your employees or your subordinates, in that, you have these one-on-one conversations. And you can kind of break down, what you envision their job description to be, and go through them week after week to make sure that you're seeing progress, right? And this is a barrier for you to sort of use this documentation. And I use a spreadsheet. I put together a Google spread that has the 1 to 10 top descriptions of what I want out of that particular employee and what their work responsibilities are. And then we have this calculated checkbox where it computes a percentage, right? So if we get through all 10 or 12, whatever the list is, we check off all the boxes and receive 100%. That's great. There's rewarding and tracking progress that way. But, if week after week, they're logging a 50% score, there's a big gap, right? And so you can only improve on things that you monitor. And so you can have a conversation with this person, and then, maybe a day or two, they kind of show a slight change and the communication's better with their employees or their subordinates. And then, a week later, 2 weeks later, bad habits reform again. But if you institute these one-on-one check-ins and you can really monitor and track, what you see their responsibilities and their roles are, I think it's going to be top of mind, and it's going to be on their mind every single day. In many ways, I've gotten my staff kind of logged in each morning to go through their scorecard. It's, that's almost like that's on their screen every day to make sure that they're going through every particular responsibility that they have for the business and their job. And so if communication is one, I think you can very much add that as an item in their scorecard, and then offer support, and really get to the human level of, why are they maybe projecting onto an employee in a way that maybe something personal is going on, and you can kind of focus in on what's going on in their life a little bit to better understand why they're behaving that way, and then make a decision there, where some people just have a negative mindset. They're just what I call negaholics, right? Like, it could be a sunny day, but they'll complain about a cloud, right? And that's kind of like, you can't change someone innately if they just have a bad outlook and a negative mindset, and because they won't fit into your culture index, right? And so I would just really focus in on that. If you're concerned about having this one-off conversation, just institute a new policy with the scorecards or the grading system that you find fit. And then this way you can kind of use that as the benchmark rather than you feel like you're tattletaling on someone, or you're kind of making a mountain out of a molehill situation. But I think a conversation is certainly warranted, and you definitely have to get to the root of the problem and then extract it if you need to. But I think you'll start seeing that if you kind of compile that scorecard. And it's made a huge difference for my business as well. And I would recommend it to all entrepreneurs and businesses. All right, so last question is coming in from Kurt. Kurt's question is, what's the best way to determine the best opportunity out of a selection of seemingly good options? All right, that's a broad, vague question there, but I'll do my best here. Let's see. The background of the question is, I came to AO to begin working on building out different systems and processes to take my current branding and design business from being a contractor and take the role of a creative director working with a team, as we discussed on our call. However, as I've been going through the Authority Expert course, I started questioning if that is what I really want to do long term. I initially got the entrepreneurial itch a little over 10 years ago when I started a clothing company. This idea behind this company was that I would use it as a motivational and inspirational platform, primarily based on my journey of dealing with and overcoming challenges with mental health. The brand ultimately didn't progress because I hit a point where I became so afraid of sharing my story and so afraid of being judged that I got stuck in the paralysis by analysis phase and never progressed. All that being said, I'm at a point in my life now where I overcome these fears, and when I look at what I've written so far in my Authority Expert template, my strongest expertise, greatest strengths, and skills that I've developed can all be directly tied to what I've learned in dealing with mental health issues. I guess I'm a little bit of a point where this idea has never left me, but the most opportunities for myself are in the area of the brand design creative direction. I know I want to pursue this brand because of the deeper meaning and personal experience I can speak from, but I also don't want to spread myself thin trying to develop multiple things at the same time. Okay, so there's a lot here. I think, just reading through that, you've really talked yourself into the question that I would ask you is, where do you feel your biggest strengths are? And I think that is the real honest question with most people when they start a business or, kind of head down this entrepreneurial journey where, they have an idea and, they want to run with the idea and they finally get started, but, they're focusing on the wrong things that they think that they may need to succeed in this business, but not focusing on what their innate ability and where their largest skill set is. For me, for example, is I always felt that my greatest talent would be in the sales and presentation standpoint. So I went all in making sure that my responsibilities and what I was doing for my business was to my strength. And that was, like my first question, focusing on those presentations, rehearsing them, and then pitching them. And I was literally able to start a business by pitching ideas that eventually came to life. And so I think that's important for you to evaluate is if you have this expertise, and it sounds like an awesome cause that I would support 100% with mental illness and, evangelizing things around that, being sort of the expert in terms of the messaging and what you would like your main role to be, you could easily work with someone that may have, from a contract or part-time basis, real design skills or creative direction responsibilities or experience in the past where they can teach you, right? I mean, you have to, have the confidence in that your IP and your vision for what you want this business to be is yours. And don't feel threatened that you're kind of bringing someone else in to support that because maybe your ego wants to design the shirts or, creatively direct. You're always going to have input to all the decisions that are being made, even down to the benign stuff. So I think, just really focusing on where your talent lays and where that you're good at and you're strong at, and even things that your friends tell you that you're really good at, and focus there, and then look to integrate, other supporting folks part-time to kind of get this off the ground. I think another point is, and I've said this in other sessions in the past, the fear of failure is the biggest issue for many early entrepreneurs, and you can really psych yourself out. And so you called it paralysis by analysis. Absolutely. We're all guilty of it to a degree, but if you can move on from that fear of failure and just taking that first step is so profoundly important to any business. And you're gonna screw up. Like you're not gonna get it right. You're not gonna make all the right decisions. But you're starting, and you're going to learn from that. And ultimately, again, and I think we're all very honest with this, you're in this group for a good reason. I mentioned success is never owned, it's rented. And so I think being an entrepreneur is very similar where, you really have to identify, is it really worth for you? And so if you've got this idea, but you feel like you want to kind of be a subordinate role to this idea, then maybe think of it another way, like partner with someone, or maybe kind of find another business that you can bring value in. And this way you're not concerned with spreading yourself too thin or, just questioning that, are you an entrepreneur or not, right? And I think having that honest conversation with yourself could be really helpful. And there's no shame in that. I know we're an AO here, and the goal is to promote businesses and entrepreneurs, but there's no guarantees. And so some people will be able to make it. You have all the great resources to support that, but at the end of the day, if it's not for you, and being able to sustain that sort of pain and suffering that I've talked about in the past, where if you can endure that, that you can fight through like hell, and you're not going to quit and get through it, then there's going to be some success tied to that ability. And so I think maybe for you, just kind of list out have the real conversations of where your strengths are, what are your concerns, and then just try to just go in open arms, fuck failure, right, as Sean likes to say. And you can't let that fear of failure hold you back. So just getting started, step one. Step two, really identify your strengths and go all in on that. Just go all in on where you think that you can bring the most value and service to your business or another business, and then look to other contractors to start, because I know finance is probably slim, and do what you need to do to find friends and family that can help you in those design elements or creative direction if you're able to. But listen, lean on the group too. There's designers here, and being able to ask for help, I think we're all very supportive there. So, but ultimately, just be honest with yourself. It sounds like you've made some strong strides personally, so congratulations on that. And just go for it. You're in the right place to find the support that you need. So that's my recommendation to you. So I said it was going to be short. So 3 questions in. Again, have a happy holidays to everyone, and we'll regroup in January, and let's have a kick-ass 2022 together. All right, see you guys.